On October 21st, 2021, the film industry suffered the loss of a prolific creative mind, Halyna Hutchins, age 42. Hutchins was the visionary mind behind the camera on a diverse and expansive number of short and independent films. At the time of her death, she was working on her next feature project, Rust.
Tonight we gather to celebrate her legacy as a leader amongst young female cinematographers, as a wife, and as a mother. We're here this evening to remember Halyna.
The incident occurred when actor and producer on the film Alec Baldwin was practicing a shot involving a firearm. The scene involved Baldwin whipping a pistol out and firing towards a camera. This angle was intended to give the viewer the perspective that they were being shot at. When Baldwin was handed the gun, he was informed by the prop master that it was a cold weapon. Now, a weapon being cold is a term used to describe when a firearm is not loaded with live ammunition of any kind. Variety magazine, however, reports that there was a single live round that escaped the inspection of the firearm. This closely aligns with CNN's reporting, where they quote Sharon Waxman, CEO of The Wrap, who had the following to say: "There's this pastime that crew members sometimes do. It's called plinking, and they go out into rural areas and they shoot at beer cans. This is with live ammunition. We learned that this happened the morning of the day that Halyna Hutchins was killed." End quote.
Blank guns are reproductions of real firearms that do not shoot any type of bullet out of them and cannot chamber a real cartridge, so they are perfectly safe. Or maybe not.
When someone hears the term prop gun, it is easy to dismiss that the object being used could pose any danger. This is all just the power of movie magic, right? Well, not necessarily. While digital effects and CGI can easily transform any piece of plastic into a believable smoking gun, there are filmmakers who prefer to use blanks to achieve their vision. A blank is a modified bullet that does not contain the projectile at the tip of the casing like a normal bullet. This ensures that the blank delivers the desired muzzle flash effect without the danger of the projectile shooting and harming someone. However, using blanks does not completely eliminate the danger, and if fired at a close range, a blank can prove fatal. The safety conditions combined with the general treatment of the crew working on Rust have been under scrutiny recently. A cameraman formerly employed on the production had this to say: "We cited everything from lack of payment for 3 weeks, taking our hotels away despite asking for them in our deals, lack of COVID safety, and on top of that, poor gun safety. Poor on-set safety, period." End quote. The lack of concern for gun safety on any set is a cause for concern, as the dangers of blanks are known throughout the industry. Prior to the tragic events of October 21st, there had already been 3 misfires involving a gun on set, which has raised questions about the level of concern for safety being shown by the producers. In protest of these conditions, a large number of the crew walked out and were replaced by non-union crew on the morning of the incident. This terrible tragedy has overturned many lives. It has stolen from the world a talent that was just beginning to make its claim on the creative world. Taking this tragic event into account, what happens as a result? Does the industry just say, "Be careful," and move on? If such a thing were to be the case, then that would be a terrible, terrible waste. What is the point of experiencing tragedy if not to pave a future where these experiences are utilized to better preserve life? The tragic loss of Halyna Hutchins presents the movie industry with a question: is the visual end result worth the risk of using live ammunition on a set? As mentioned before, we live in an era of film where anything is possible with the magic of digital effects. So why even take the slightest risk when there are alternatives available? The fault for the loss of Hutchins lies not on the man that pulled the trigger and not on the prop master that declared the gun cold, but on the cold force behind every money-minded move made by the producers on the film. Greed and penny pinching motivated many of the decisions on the set that upset the union crew. This is a tragic example of the subtle hand of capitalism infecting the lives of the working class. Workers in Hollywood have lately been preparing to strike, as the sentiment in the industry is that conditions since the pandemic started have been unfair and unbearable. If anything good comes from this tragedy, it should be that it is a case for the importance of safe and comfortable working conditions.
I'm not on this film, and I wasn't there, and I haven't even spoken to anyone who was there. But I know the places that I do work, and generally we are so rushed that we have to cut corners. We have to sometimes skip safety protocols. We have to do the best we can with what we've got, and it leads to accidents.